So believe it or not, the microphone that you have in your phone is actually pretty good. And today I'm going to show you how to use it effectively for video content, social media, explainer videos, etc. The first things first is I'm using an app called the Rode Reporter app. And Rode is a company that makes microphones. They also have an app for it. Amazing. So it is going to have a big red button in the center of it that you can probably see when you download the app, and you'll be able to start recording, stop recording, etc. Now, the most important thing when it comes to getting good audio is outside of the microphone is going to be microphone placement. We want to put the microphone in a spot that is going to capture the best audio, and generally it's as close to the source as possible. So in this case, we are holding the phone pretty close to us. Phone microphones, because their phones have to be able to pick up the human voice at least decently so we can have a conversation. So with that in mind, another thing that's worth considering is microphone positioning. You'll notice that I'm not holding the microphone directly here versus I'm actually kind of pointing it down towards my chest and where like my vocal cords are. The reason why you do that, and with a lot of microphone placements on like professional video sets, is when you get the microphone right here, you're probably gonna get a bunch of little like mouth grossy sounds sort of things, and you point the microphone towards the chest cavity, this area, so that you can really minimize some of the little artifacts that happen when a normal human speaks, like little lip sounds and lip smacks, etc. So microphone positioning and placement is also first very important. Now, as you can see with the app, it is just recording my audio directly into the phone. We can see the waveform, we can see the big button, and if I go ahead and hit the pause button, we're now back on the camera, and then I'm gonna hit the end really quick. Now, one thing that's also worth considering as I end this is it's gonna sound a lot worse. I'm currently in my living room. The overall ambiance, the atmosphere of this room, the acoustics, that's the word, it is not going to be favorable to recording good audio. So where you record audio is very important. We'll get to that in a second, but let's go back to the phone. We are now on the phone and we're recording directly into it. Now you can record in a room with a phone with mediocre acoustics. As long as you get the microphone as close to your subject as possible, you'll be able to get pretty decent audio. But I do recommend finding some ways to dampen the sound as you are recording. So with that in mind, we're gonna go and explore a couple options. The first is a blanket. And under this blanket, you'll probably notice that the sound is maybe a little different. I actually haven't done this test just yet. I have actually never hung out under a blanket like this. But the reason why you do this is all the little pieces of fabric and cloth and hairs and threads among this, and the uneven surface area of being under a blanket is going to really help dampen a lot of the sound relative to being in an open room. So we have this audio that you can hear here. Okay, it sounds awesome, but being able to read a script like this is going to be pretty tough. So if you need to listen to a script or read a script as you are recording your voiceover, I highly recommend going into your bedroom closet. Going into the closet. Going into the closet. We are now in my bedroom closet, and the reason why you would use a closet or some sort of small room like this is it's generally used with storage, and because of all the extra stuff in the room, like my suit and a jacket and my powerlifting singlet, these uneven surface areas are going to help absorb and dampen a lot of the sounds in the room that you're recording. On top of that, being in a small room versus being under a blanket is you can set up a little light, like, I don't know, a flashlight or something, so then you can actually go ahead and read the script. Now, when it comes to actually performing your voiceover when you're using the Rode Reporter app, the number one thing I do recommend is, like, if you just do it on a page basis. So when you're recording your script, your voiceover, whatever you're trying to do, rather than doing it in each take, go ahead and do it at a page at a time, because when you're editing that in post, it's going to be a lot easier than having like a bunch of different files, especially if you're trying to sync up audio and video together. If you're just doing audio, then you can just go ahead and sync it up and edit it later. But all that being said, I do recommend making sure that you focus on doing a page and then hitting the stop button and then the end button. And then now you're listening to the microphone on the camera. I probably bet it sounds better than in the previous room that we were in. Now we're back on to the phone. We're gonna go ahead and take this audio clip that we just recorded and send it to ourselves. So to do that, we'll just hit the stop recording button. It's no longer recording. We'll hit the end button, and then you're gonna see a couple things in the app that will help you get this to yourself so you can actually edit it. You're gonna go to first your library, and under your library you'll see all the recordings that we've done. For this we've done 3. We can go ahead and hit the select button in the top right hand corner, hit the little tick boxes, and then we can just hit the up arrow sign right here, and we can go ahead and email it to ourselves. We can text it to our friends, we can text it to ourselves, send it to ourselves on Discord, Dropbox, whatever you need. So I'm gonna go ahead and email this to myself, and I would just be like, Jags, send it to me in video tutorial, like that. Awesome. So then we can just go ahead and hit send. Now you do have to be conscious of file size. If you're using an Apple device and you have iCloud, then you should be able to just use MailDrop, which is like Apple's cloud service. But if you don't have iCloud or you're using a non-Apple device, you can probably use Google Drive or Dropbox. I'll just email this to myself and it's go ahead and send it. Now the last thing I will say is when we go ahead and hit cancel and leave our selected audio clips, we can go to our settings. The number one thing I do recommend is setting your quality to standard, and that's going to be the highest quality possible with all of that the extra stuff that you need for recording. You can also turn on dark mode if you want. Now I will say that when it does come to using microphones to get good audio, having a really good microphone, I'm using the Shure SM7B right now, will always be better than a phone. But let's be real, as long as you're following the good microphone placement and reading your script in a slow and cohesive and coherent way, you'll be able to get some good audio. So just go ahead and practice a couple times. It will probably take a second because I even hate my own voice, but once you get into the groove, it's going to be so much easier. So the last thing I will say is when you are recording good audio for some sort of video, the last recommendation I have is pretend you're just reading a book to a child. Just be very slow, be very precise with your articulation, and that will help you get some really good voiceover for your video stuff. I hope this video was helpful for helping you record video for your video projects. I'm helping some other people out, so I just wanted to share my process with that. If this was helpful, please let me know in the comment section down below. If you have questions, comments, concerns, whatever else, comment section is down there for that as well. And as always, 1 gram of protein per pound of body weight. Goodbye, my friends. Bye.